What's up, my fellow YouTubers? So I figured I would do a blog on my movie collection so far. Now this is on my Xbox, so I still got shit tons of movies, physical movies. But as I've said before in my other blog, I've been collecting them when they go on sale for like $5 for the most part every Tuesday. Um, I like having them, you know, right where I know I can see them without having to worry about the disc being scratched, and I can just stream it anytime I want. And I think I'm just looking ahead to a time when, like, let's say, man, I'm in this like retirement home, and hopefully I can still have my Xbox, right, and still want all my movies that I've always liked right there, with nobody can take it away from them, because once you buy them, you buy them, right? So even though that's kind of a morbid way to think, but like, I think I just never want to be movieless, right? Like Rain Man movieless would say that's right. And speaking of Rain Man, I don't have Rain Man in my collection yet, but I think I'll just wait till that goes on sale. I might get it. But here is so far my movie collection. And when I was a teenager, all I watched was horror. But my father got me into Bruce Lee, and might have to make this smaller, right? Ah, fuck it. As I go up, you can see it. Okay, so anyways, here it is so far. As you can see, you get a little bit, even cartoons, they were on sale. Nostalgia trip right there. Um, as you can see, a lot of my stuff is action stuff. That movie was pretty morbid. I haven't seen it all yet. I'm going to see it. And nobody beats Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris, but still, the '70s movies were still pretty cool. That was a good movie. The remake, Red Dragon, man, you'll never be able to replace Anthony Hopkins. That was awesome. It Follows, man, that was creepy. That was timeless and creepy. And I'm going to do individual blogs about individual movies that I like. So I think I'd be here for hours trying to do everything. This I saw as a kid. I was born in '75. I'll never forget being a little kid and seeing this and being so. A lot of these I got out of nostalgia. That again was disappointing. It was like college crap. Again, but the special effects were good. The creepiness was kind of good. But speaking of creepy though, this one, oh, what a timeless classic. I've never seen it. It was on sale, so I said, I'll try that, man. It was pretty good for a '70s movie. It was ahead of its time, I thought. And here we go with the horror movies. This is around Halloween, right? All the horror movies were on sale. That was fucking brutal, man. That was one of the most brutal things. It was off to a slow start, and it was like depressing as fuck, right? He's got the cancer, he's looking for the cure. It's like, oh my god! And then all of a sudden, they double cross him, and it's a prequel, right? It takes place between Saw 1 and 2, so he doesn't die, right? But still, like, once he gets back at him, it's like, oh my god, the traps were like, wow, nostalgia trip. I remember reading the book and finally seeing the movie, and it didn't disappoint. But now you watch it, and it's kind of outdated, right? But still, so for a remake, that was good. Denzel Washington, I think, is my favorite actor. I think I have all three of the Equalizers, man, and they're all good, all of them. But part one will always be my favorite. And me and my father were supposed to watch part two. I got it for him for his birthday, and we never got a chance because he passed away in 2019. So I got teary-eyed watching three because we were supposed to watch part two together, and I know he would want to watch three, and I could almost feel him with me, like tapping me on the shoulder, saying, "Hey, I'm here. Let's watch it." Skip Trace, good. Again, all these go on sale. Not my favorite Jackie Chan movie, but still good. Again, all the Nightmare on Elm Streets for what, $20? That was a steal. Again, these two were on sale during Halloween. Man on Fire, that's a timeless classic. And again, The Equalizer. These three are timeless classics. 30, 40 years from now, it'll still be, still be looked at as a timeless classic that it gets better with age. Again, some of these newer horror movies are like, you know what I mean? Not as good as the older stuff. Still, from what I've seen so far, it's still good enough. I'll watch. I kind of put it on the back burner. I'll watch that later on, type of thing. The Town, timeless classic because it takes place in Boston, Massachusetts. So I mean, I'm from Massachusetts, obviously. I dug it. I dig it. The Dark Tower was the biggest disappointing fucking movie of all time. I might just do a blog on that. But basically, they dropped the ball hardcore, and Stephen King is in a position where what's he gonna say? I'm disappointed because of his color. Okay, we all know that the gunslinger looked like Clint Eastwood. We all fucking know it. Okay. Special effects were good again, futuristic bullshit. But I mean, if you've read the books and then you watch this, it's like what the fuck ever. This was on sale, $5. Again, Anthony Hopkins playing. You can barely know it's him. It's like, wow, oh my god. But again, I only watched a couple minutes of it. It's one of those things as a collector, to collect it, right? To watch later. Again, one of my favorite movies of all time, Falling Down. I did a blog on that. Another one of my favorite movies of all time, because it's not just about jazz. It's about the abuse that somebody that's the teacher to the master, or the master to the student, can put that student through to make them quote unquote better and give them split personality disorder and make them better than they were, but do it at what cost, right? That's the undermining message of the movie. But man, I've actually seen videos on YouTube of real drummers saying this is real, this isn't, this is real, this isn't. But they do leave it up in the air that instructors can be like that to their students. So I mean, who knows, But that was a timeless classic. Again, on sale, Ice Cube, can't go wrong with him. Vin Diesel. Now that's a biblical movie, man. I've been collecting some biblical movies that are really good, and this is one of them definitely, because the Old Testament is very hard for me to capture in my mind how things were back then. It's like, wow, that's actually, from what I've seen already, it's pretty cool. It really captures what happened back then. It's like, wow. Can't go wrong with Wesley Snipes here. That was okay. I kind of shut it off after a while. Again, Left Behind series is kind of outdated and generic, because they're doing what the writer wants you to do. They're now it's biblically it's prophecy biblically accurate. You know what I mean? This is what's supposed to happen, how it's supposed to happen. The Antichrist is going to come after the rapture. Okay, I get it. We're going to get into what the Bible says about now what's going to happen. And I got like the whole Left Behind series books for a cheap price, because now as time goes on, the cheaper prices get, and the books are good. But again, I stopped reading it because I don't know, it kind of makes you feel like if you're not a certain way, you're going to get left behind, and I didn't like that. I feel like if you believe in Jesus, you're going to go up there. Okay, if you believe in the rapture and Jesus, you're not going to get left behind if you're the type of person that went to church and left $1 there instead of giving 10% of your savings. That's the undermining way of what it's trying to say. Oh, this guy got left behind because he was like this and he was still part of a church. It's just like a mind game way of saying, oh, this is you, right? And I took offense to that because, look, I haven't been to church in a while. When I do go, I do leave the $1 there. Does that mean I'm going to get left behind? Fuck you. That's just how I feel. Like, we're only really saved by grace through Jesus Christ if we believe in him. I don't think people that just go to church and just give 10% of their savings are going to be the only ones up there. That's just my take. Or, all the kids go up there, this person went up there, this person up there, but you're the asshole that got left behind, and this is you in the book, right? You're not the hero. You're the fucking asshole, right? That's just, I know. It's that being said, it's the whole thing kind of reads like a Dan Brown novel where, the guy's going after the Antichrist, right? The Antichrist he finds out who it is, right? And the problem is prophecy is already written, so you already know that the Antichrist is going to fucking come to a hardcore end, is going to die a hardcore death, but at the same time, it's prophecy, right? So it's interesting. That being said, these movies are kind of they're good in a prophetic way, but they don't capture a lot of other situations that we really go through in the real world in other ways. But since Nicolas Cage was in it, I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Um, and again, it's not my favorite movie, but it was on sale, collector, and maybe I'm going too far off on one movie. I should have just did this as a personal blog. But again, okay, let's go on to other movies. So, Silent Rage. Wow, this is Chuck Norris in his heyday. Pretty good for a 70s 80s movie. If you like Chuck Norris in his younger days, this is definitely a good movie to get. On the other hand, it's outdated. There's some corny stuff with the fight scenes. Concussion. Oh wow, that was so good. That was so. Will Smith plays a good thing there. Street Kings 1 and 2, man. I started watching part 2 after part 1, but part 1 is definitely the better one. It usually is, right? But I got to start watching part 2 more. But from what I've seen, obviously Street Kings 1 for me was really good. Brutal, and it could really happen behind the scenes politics with cops and shit like that. Haven't seen this yet, but it was on sale, so Happening was good. I saw that a while ago. Again, this one was on sale. Haven't seen it yet, but it's from the makers of Saw. And I saw in the comments it was brutal. So definitely gonna check that out. Glass. It's I have all three of them. I have all three of the series. They're all good. Get that comic type of stuff. Hide and Seek. It's been a while since I saw it. So when I saw it again, it was like seeing it all over again. That was actually pretty good. Like I was like, who is the killer? I was like, holy shit. Like by the end, it's like, it's such a twist. The Village, I saw that a while ago, collected it. The Bird is a true story about the jazz guy. I haven't seen it all yet, but again, on sale, $5. That was this one so far. I like it. SEAL Team is one of the best ever. If you like military stuff, one of the best, seasons ever, like shows ever that I've ever saw. And then you could only get 5 and 6 on Paramount, as far as I know. I think they could sell it now, but I really did cry like a bitch on the last episode of season 6. I ain't gonna lie. After watching all of them, you'll see what I mean. No spoilers, but yeah, it's emotional. So these are, I don't know. I guess I could be here for hours, right? Just talking about certain movies, but a lot of it's being a collector. Some of it's nostalgia. Some of it's just taking advantage of a good deal. Fallen, timeless classic. Same as Twister. Cat's Eye. Oh my God. The book's always better, but still, it's good to go back and watch that again. And that was so funny, man. That Man from Toronto. I loved it. But again, I don't have Netflix because they're greedy. I canceled it, and it was on sale, and it was a Netflix movie. I said, "Yep, I'll watch it." Unfaithful, that was really good. Let's see. So I mean, that was really scary, man. Deadliest Catch. That's one of my favorite movies shows of all time because it's real. It's really happening. People really die from different things, not just the boat, but like different things in real life. It's real life. There's nothing playing about it. Although I think sometimes that they act like assholes bigger than they really are in real life to make it more interesting. I think because the camera's on him, especially Sig, he let it get to his head. He acts like a bigger asshole than he really is, but he does it because he knows he's on camera. But I fucking love it. I think Sig is definitely my favorite out of all of them. There you go. Some more brutal horror movies. They end up going on sale. Haven't seen that yet, but as a collector, again, John Wick 4, man, oh my God, that was so awesome. Nothing beats the first one though, but 4 was good. This movie made me cry like a bitch, and I'm gonna definitely do a blog on it because it's the only movie lately that made me cry like a bitch. I ain't gonna lie. There you go. That was so brutal. Again, like it's a quick Oh my God, Better Call Saul. I watched Breaking Bad, did my research, and they were like, "Wow, it's a prequel." It's hard to do a prequel and still make those people look younger than they were supposed to be, right? Um, but they did a good job, and then some. It's like, wow, it was so good. I loved it. After watching Breaking Bad twice, I was like, wow, I was not disappointed. Another classic. Again, I'm just going to go down the line and show you in a nutshell. I don't know if I could just go through every single one of them without this thing being like 3 hours long, or if people would actually watch it. If they were, um, the Ten Commandments, and that's another classic that was beautifully done about the Old Testament, because a lot of the times when I read the Bible, it's like, how was it that they captured that perfectly? It's hard for me to imagine how it was in my head, and that does a good job. Total Recall again. That's the future where we're talking to each other on screen like we're doing now. So I mean, not far off, right? Nostalgia Trip. We're not in Kansas anymore. Really good. Oh my God, yeah. To have that happen to you in the real world, man, that's scary, right? Here we go. Again, that does a good, depicts a good of what happened back then. Because to me, I don't know. I think the Bible is hard to picture in your head sometimes how it is, right? But that does a good job right there. Demolition Man, Perfect Storm. That's a true story. Planet of the Apes. I heard this was good. Haven't gotten around to watching it yet. Got it. Another one that's a timeless classic, but it's older, that I got and put it on the back burner. Really funny. That one, hilarious. Rocky, Adrian. You can't go wrong with that. Another timeless classic right there that takes place in the area of Brooklyn, right? New York, right? All right. Fast and Furious. I got them all except for the new one. I heard the new one was unrealistic, so all the ones that I got anyways are ones that I'm grateful that I got. And I don't know if I'll get the new one yet. I'll probably just watch it. I think it's on Paramount or one of those. G.I. Jane. Dreamcatcher, awesome. Timeless classic. Nostalgia Trip. Lincoln. All right, all the Hellraisers. I think three. Well, I haven't seen them all the newer ones yet, but I mean, Clive Barker is like one of the best horror makers ever, right? Period. But that was a timeless classic. That was good. Creepshow has Joe Hill in it, part one, and now he's the next Stephen King because he's his son, right? He's taking over for Stephen King, and it's good to know that when Stephen King passes on, his son will take the torch. And here we go. Ambulance was pretty good. Well, I can't get into them all, but like I said, I'm just going to scroll down. And First Strike. Oh, yeah, the Karate Kid, man. Nothing beats the Karate Kid. Cobra Kai was awesome. The only time I get Netflix is when Cobra Kai comes back, but I'm going to watch other things once I get it, once it comes back again. This is one of his best, I think, even though it's one of the newer ones that he's done 10 years ago, but still one of the newer ones. All the Grudges, Aliens, Insidiouses, when they go on sale, I get them. All right. Unknown. I mean, you can't go wrong with Liam Neeson. This right here is a timeless classic, man. I'll never get sick of Candyman, right? Tony Todd is one scary motherfucker. He doesn't need any makeup, right? Helen, right? Salem's Lot, Butterfly Effects 2, Clash of Champions, Cashback. Really fucking weird movie. I haven't seen it all yet, but this is a really weird one that was on sale. Memory loses his memory, kind of like in real life. We lose our memories, right, when we get fucking older. So, Hitman. This is Chuck Norris when he was about my age. I think he was 48 at the time he did this, but it's Chuck Norris, right? So his 48 was like my fucking 30. This is one of his movies that latter movies, like because then he went on to Texas Ranger. Then he had the twins, and he just stopped in his 60s, I think, and just retired on his ranch. But from what I've seen so far, it's pretty good. It's the older Chuck Norris, because if you notice, once he became a Christian, his movies changed, right? He didn't do the swearing, you didn't see the nudity. It was still good, but like this is like the older Chuck Norris before that, right? The older sometimes is better because it shows him swearing, it shows him being a dick, it shows the nudity in the bars, whatever the fuck. And I'll never forget, like, my stepfather not letting me watch some of his movies, and I'd go to my father's house and watch them because he let me. End of Days, all right. SWAT, though, man, SWAT is fucking awesome. And I know the last season is coming up. I think they could have ended it at season 6, and I would have been satisfied. Again, it's a lot of left-wing political bullshit, but the action from the makers of Fast and Furious overrides that. I get it. I get it with the political bullshit, but I hate it being shoved down my throat. At the same time, you can't go wrong with like Criminal Minds. I've always been a big Criminal Minds fan, so I mean, Shima Moore, you can't go wrong with him, and the action is fucking awesome. So definitely one of my favorites of all time. Star Wars, all the Star Wars. What really pisses me off is I bought them, and then it said for the same price I can get that with the extras, and I said, you son of a bitch. They fucking do that to everybody. Like, they put them not side by side, but they put them like a little bit lower, so you'll see the first one first. You'll get it, and then it'll say, oh, you can get that with the extras here. I don't know how many fucking times I've fallen for that shit, but here we go. Godfather, you gotta get those. If you're a Godfather fan, you have to get all those, right? Elektra, Green Lantern. Oh, that was so good. Good Morning Vietnam. Such a good movie. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. So yeah, I think for blogs, I'm just gonna do movies. That was corny as fuck. I didn't bother with season 2 because I didn't finish season 1 yet. The original was supposed to be scary. Serial killer puts his soul inside of a doll. The doll is realistic. It kills people. Holy shit, it's scary. And through time, it just got so fucking corny. It was like, come on now. I didn't even bother with the latter ones. This one was really good. It blends in Stephen King's characters, but in different roles, which is fucking awesome. Beautiful job. I think some of it was actually done in Massachusetts. All right, 31. That was one of the best Rob Zombie movies. It's hit or miss with him. That was one of the hits. Tony Jaa in that, and Nicolas Cage, so you can't go wrong with that. Bar Rescue is one of my favorites, although guy's kind of a dick, but he's a successful dick, right? By the end of the show, he's got the bar on its feet again, right? That's all that matters. This is, I think, one of the last. The Drop was probably the last one that James Gandolfini did, but this is one of the latter ones also. That was pretty good for a comedy when James Gandolfini was in it. I haven't seen that yet. Again, as a collector, I get that. The new Candyman, too political, too didn't have Tony Todd except for the very end. I felt like Tony Todd will never get too old to play Candyman, but they had another guy play it. It was still good, but not as good as the original. Should have had Tony Todd in it. I would have liked it better. Cut down with the fucking politics. We get it nowadays. Okay, just cut down with the bullshit and make it that old school urban creepiness that part 1 had. And it would have been perfect, but nothing's perfect nowadays, right? That was pretty good, actually. I like that. Shanghai Noon, Shanghai Nights. I saw those in the movies. Ray was, oh my God, one of my favorites. Again, Will Smith did a great job in playing that. Or was it even Will Smith? Holy shit. I get them mixed up sometimes. I think it was. Fuck it. This is one of my favorites, too. Took place in Vietnam. And that was about Ted Bundy. That was actually a good, creepy documentary. Wrong Turn. Some of the newer ones aren't as good as the older ones. That one was one of my favorites, Rat the Man. And it's one of his latter ones. Candyman. Part 2 was awesome. They don't have Part 3. Part 3 was lackluster anyways, but Part 2, 1 and 2 were one of the best horror flicks of all time because Tony Todd is a scary motherfucker. This, I think, is the scariest fucking horror movie because it's a prequel to Amityville. It's what really happened to make the house haunted. I think the timeless classic of all the horror movies that I've ever seen that are timeless, definitely this one. This one definitely, it's old school horror, you know, possession type of shit. The Conjuring, definitely one of my favorites. 1408, straight out of Compton. Oh yeah, I grew up listening to NWA, so that was definitely old school rap. You know, I hate the new school rap, but the old school rap is pretty good. The Kickboxers, Prodigal Son was good. I don't know. I lost interest in season 2, but season 1 was really good. Kind of Dexter-ish, serial killer-ish. That was good. The Marksman. This is Investigation Discovery, the case that haunts me. That's, you know, true crime, true episodes. Nothing beats that. Cecil Hotel, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. What did happen to Lisa Lam? You know, the world will never know because the camera cut off. You know, so as long as the world doesn't know, people are going to speculate, people are going to hide shit, and that's why it's still going on. I think it will still go on unless the truth comes out that somebody was hiding something big and all the cops were in on it, which I think is a big possibility. The lady there definitely knows something that she's hiding, I think. That's just my opinion. Friday the 13th. Mysteries of the Deep. They have season 2 now on Discovery Plus. Jeremy Wade is one of my favorites because he doesn't openly doubt stuff. He just explores it. He's like, let's really physically explore whether or not these documentaries are true or these myths are true. Let's find out for myself. And that's not like in the wrong. He's just exploring stuff. And mad respect to him, but these are really good things that we don't know about or cover-ups. And it's like, wow, that's cool. Web Alive is another Investigation Discovery. Stuff about people on the internet. People Magazine, obviously, another true crime stuff. Wow, I don't know if I'll ever get to the bottom. Another true crime stuff. That guy, wow, he's seen some brutal stuff, man. That's one of my favorite documentaries. This guy was a crazy motherfucker in the real world, man. Real world is sometimes scarier than the fucking real horror movies. One of my favorites true crime things of all time, documentaries. Murder Board, awesome. See No Evil is, oh my god, so sad because it's real stuff caught on camera. Now they're up to, I think, season 10 on Investigation Discovery. Nightmare Next Door, another classic favorite. Still a mystery. And here we go, back to the movies. I Got All the Saws. Changing Lanes, another favorite. Homicide Hunter, man. If you haven't already, pick up his new book. Not All Is Forgiven. It's his first fictional book. It's a lot like Stephen King, to be honest. Only it's blended in with cop work. But Stephen King did the Hodges trilogy, so it's a lot like Stephen King's The Hodges trilogy. Hitman, you can't go wrong with that. That's part 4 is actually one of my favorites. River Monsters, again, I got them all. Jeremy Wade's one of my favorites. Documentary. Fish catchers or whatever the fuck, explorers, and there he is there. He's 66 years old, so like as long as he lives, he can do the Mysteries of the Deep stuff. But I think he's too old and too, with everything going on nowadays with the politics and shit, I think it's too dangerous to explore some of the shit that he did in his 50s. But hey, it's all documented, so that's pretty cool. Especially, you know, he can't go to Russia now, you know. Oh, that was so sad. But yeah, here, All the Saws, The Purge. I think they have season 3 now. That has LL Cool J in it. I liked it, but it didn't pull me in. Who knows? Maybe it's because I only saw a couple episodes, but it didn't pull me in like Criminal Minds did. Awesome wrestling documentary. I think there's season 2 out now that I'll eventually collect. That was one of my favorites, Liam Neeson movies. The newer one was actually better than the older one, I thought, with this one, which I was surprised. And here's real documentaries on real serial killers and real people that snap and shit like that. Fatal Encounters. This one they should have did a season 4, but they have the first 3 here. I bought them. It's about real stories of people. It's dramatic. It's redone. But it's like, okay, two people that don't know each other end up killing each other, and they go back in time. But within 24 hours, this person will meet this person, and you see how it happens. And I fucking love it. It's one of my favorites investigation discovery series of all time. They should have did more, as well as the Corona. They should have did more Corona stuff. Again, I can't go through every fucking thing that I have, but that was a timeless classic. Honestly, I could not. This is so depressing because I thought it would have a good ending, and it's a true story, and it's really how real black metal bands end up because they're the real deal. I gotta admit, it was so depressing that I shut it off. Maybe I'll watch it again in the future, but it doesn't have a happy ending, and it was just like, man, I just ended up shutting it off. But if you're a huge black metal fan, I guess you probably watched it about 1,000,000 times. But that was okay. The book was way better. It always is. Again, this is another biblical one that's good at presenting the Bible accurately. Captain Phillips, one of the all-time classics, true story. Serial Killers, Mule, Black Mass. Wow. Children of the Snow, another investigation discovery documentary. That was awesome. The movie was awesome. The show was awesome. Taken. I don't know who you are, but I will find you, right? Unstoppable, awesome. Protector 2. Protector 1 was awesome, too. That was actually well done with Mr. Rogers. Here we go. Exit Wounds. Steven Seagal old school movies are the best. Glimmer Man's probably one of my favorites. As he got older, obviously, he made it look like he could do more stuff than he really can. He still does. When he does his demonstrations, if you notice, the kids just go along with what he wants them to go along with. He doesn't actually have real people that are real martial artists doing these demonstrations, but that's just the way it is, right? Jet Li, timeless classics. Urban Justice, that was actually one of his latter ones that I enjoyed a lot. And then we get the older ones that I have. That has another season 2. I might get that eventually, but it's on my back burner. But Unleashed was one of my favorites. Ones that when I first started collecting my movies, that was one of the first ones that I started to get the movies that I already had, but on digital. And this is still one of my favorites of all times. I might do just a documentary just on this one. And my cat is gonna try to jump on my computer and probably end my thing, right? Okay, and this is toward the end, UFC stuff that they don't sell now because now they get it on, it's on ESPN and it's on the UFC app. So why sell them when you have to get the app to buy them? But now that's what I got. I got all the apps. True Hauntings, Wild. So this is okay. So this is the end of my movie thing so far, and I think I've done half hour. I could have went on longer, but I said, okay, I'll just give you an idea of what I have, and then I'll individually go on it, and no, you're not going to jump on my computer. And what's your favorite type of movies to watch? Let me know in the comments. Hope you all enjoyed my movie collection, and I will have more vlogs. All right, peace out, my fellow YouTubers.